these numbers a little bit. Second quarter iPad revenue coming in above estimates. Second quarter iPhone revenue coming in above estimates. Second quarter operating expenses coming in above estimates. Second quarter Mac revenue coming in above estimates. Second quarter wearables, home, and accessories coming in shy of estimates. Second quarter products revenue coming in above estimates. Second quarter revenue as a total coming in above estimates. And that second quarter EPS coming in just above estimates.
Zero mention of the word trade, zero mention of the word tariffs in the earnings statement.
Makes sense.
Strong performance on iPhone overall, by the way, in terms of it exceeded analyst estimates. I'm going to choose some words here from Apple CEO Tim Cook. Actually, no, sorry, forgive me. It's actually from
the CFO, isn't it?
The CFO.
Yeah.
Thanks to our high levels of customer loyalty and satisfaction. I'm probably putting more emphasis on that than we really should, but the iPhone was strong there. The other way of looking at it is, let's go back to the third-party soft data. What did it show us? People bought handsets and moved handsets in the first 3 months of this year before tariffs took effect.
They pulled it forward.
We did.
They pulled it forward. Like everybody was doing.
I can't say one of our colleagues bought them for all the family. Well, their iPhone revenue, right? $46.84 billion. The estimate was $45.94.
Yeah.
That's a sign of people pulling forward.
All I'm saying, every quarter before the tariffs and trade were the story, we would always discuss about how, oh my goodness, the third-party data that tracks the handset movement from China, it's so weak. And then every quarter, Apple would turn around and outperform. This time, we kind of have the logic or evidence that we know the third-party data was strong in that period, and it showed that even if people weren't buying the handsets, they were moving across borders to make them available.
You know what? That quarter's done. We care about this quarter, Ed. As Mark Gurman reminded us again today, doesn't care necessarily about these numbers.
Again?
He said it again.
Yeah.
I gave him the opportunity to move away from it. He said, nope, I'm sticking by it. I want to hear commentary about trade. I want to hear commentary about tariffs. Before we get there, though, Ed,
I want margins, he wants to know margins, prices, right?
Yeah,
are they going to see
are
price
they going to raise
increases?
prices? They have pricing power, at least here in the U.S. Second quarter Greater China revenue came in shy of estimates. $16 billion, estimates for $16.83 billion. How do you look at that miss?
Let's just state what's fair is that we don't know the answer, and on the call we're going to learn an awful lot, aren't we?
Yeah.
But same with the Tesla narrative that we had a couple of weeks ago. Apple is an American company, and if you are a Chinese citizen, part of the still growing middle class buying a handset, do you buy an iPhone or do you buy something domestic? You'd wager that the sell side will pose that question. Mm-hmm. It's soft. It's not that much softer. It's a miss, right? But again, what they will say is they will look at what they often do is they say, we thought we were the number one in this market, handset by handset, or we're the number one in terms of Mac. If they maintain that commentary, I think that would be some confidence for the street. You know what I'm talking about? They often say, according to our own research, we are the number one smartphone in this price category in that market.
Right.
You can't tell that from the earnings release. You just don't know. What we know is that Greater China came in below consensus estimate.
China's a tough market for the handset, though, because you don't have the same network effects that you have here in the U.S. when it comes to that iOS ecosystem. We talk about the blue bubbles versus the green bubbles here.
Yeah.
But if you're using over-the-top messaging apps like WeChat, it doesn't really matter if you jump from an Android-based smartphone to an iOS smartphone.
Just to rehash,
it's a lot easier to do, too.
Recap. Apple shares, they're down about, 1.8%, 2% in the aftermarket. Again, the company's revenue, it did for the second quarter come in better than forecast. Second quarter iPhone revenue came in stronger than forecast. Second quarter Greater China revenue was light, $16 billion versus an estimate of $16.83 billion. And again, the company authorizing up to $100 billion share buyback boosted its dividend as well. Apple's shares, just real quickly, they're down about 15% year to date. So maybe not a surprise that they continue to have tons of cash. Not a surprise that they continue to do these buybacks.
It's a sweetener. It's a very nice thing to do. What do you do with cash in this environment? Don't even get us started on M&A and antitrust. I'm extrapolating here. There is literally nothing in the earnings statement that we can kind of really go on here.
So I feel like the same thing with Amazon in a large way, right? Just
you gotta wait for the commentary.
Sanitized, and just here's the numbers, and we'll see what they have to say on the call.
Well, again, this is their fiscal second quarter,
right?
But think about what happened in the period. The reporting that they airlifted handsets out of India to the United States. So I'm looking at operating expenses coming in slightly higher than the street thought. It's marginal though. We have no idea if it was more expensive for them to
It doesn't tell a strong tale yet.